Mea Culpa. Why I've been absent for almost 2 weeks. Let's talk about that. Let's get cracking. Good moto morning. Welcome to another episode of Kraken's Garage, and I'm your host, Eric. And on Kraken's Garage, we discuss all good things on 2 and 3 wheels, plus some mini moto and scooter content as well. I took a break for about 2 weeks, and I owe an apology to my viewer base. First time in almost 2 years that I've taken that much time off to get my legs back underneath me. So I owe you an explanation. So let's talk about that. Mea culpa is one of my favorite terms I like to use when I make a mistake in my life, and it's a Latin phrase that means my fault or my mistake, and in an acknowledgement of doing the wrong. An expression also used as admission of having made a mistake that could have been avoided. So that's how I feel about this situation. Most of you that follow me on Facebook, the few of you that follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I did post a post that I had to put one of my dogs down, Petunia. And I had an overwhelming response on that post, and I thank each and every one of you that were replied in kind on that. I had several people of the moto community reach out to me on a personal level in private message. Matt the Greeter, I'll have a link down below. He even wrote a poem that pertains to having dogs and posted a video on it, and he didn't have to do that, and I was taken away. Jody and Tom from PurpleOnThree and PSP Tommy G reached out to me, sent me a card. Shane from LiterPlus, who unfortunately just had an accident on his brand new Aprilia and has scars up and down his arm from having surgery, and he's sorting out getting that bike straightened out. He reached out to me because he knew where I was at mentally. Steve with Scooter in the Sticks, he just put his dog down and posted a video today, as a matter of fact. I'll have a link to it down below, of going through the same thing. Matt with Garage 51, I talk to him almost daily. I mean, somebody I've never met, I talk to him daily, much like I do Greg. Greg at RidingHumboldtCounty reached out to me as well. RJ at 602 North. These are all people that took the time out of their life to talk to me on a personal basis offline and make sure, keep a finger on my pulse, if that makes sense. So that's amazing. So here's the story with Petunia. Charlie, who we had to put down several years ago, was another black pug. My mother-in-law got cancer and checked out within 6 months, my wife's mother-in-law. Charlie was orphaned and in Seattle, so I'm like, heck with it. Buy him a plane ticket, let's bring him out to Virginia, and needs to learn how to eat biscuits and gravy and put a twang in his bark. So we brought Charlie out here. When you think of pugs, you think of a googly-eyed dog with their tongue hanging out, sideways out of their mouth, just kind of a blob. Not the case with Charlie. And Petunia and Daisy May, who you see at the end of my videos. I've had bull terriers all my life, and how we wound up with Charlie was by a happen of circumstance and doing the right thing and banking some karma points. So Charlie got long in the tooth, and we enjoyed him so much. He loved to go down on the dock with me, go fishing. He loved to go in the water. He had an absolute tantrum if I went out on the boat or the jet ski without him. He just loved riding. Same goes for Petunia. Just all about just being around you and having a great big smile on their face. Now, Petunia had a disease that crippled her, and she was paralyzed from her waist down. And I researched wheelchairs, and they were going to run in north of $500 to buy one. And I'm like, heck to the no on that. So I fabbed one up out of PVC pipe and lawnmower wheels and used elastic Velcro to strap her to it and get her legs up off the ground. Her life expectancy was about 6 months when I made that wheelchair for her in April of 2019. 3 years later, it's April of 2022, she soldiered on and never once turned her back on her family. Always made sure that you had a smile on your face. She was my shop foreman and just a joy to be around, an absolute pillar of a member of the family. So like a thief in the night. She was fine one day, and then the next day her complete body crapped out, and it was a red alert. And we took her down to the vets and had to have her put her down. Why did this one hit me so hard out of all the dogs I've had in my life? That's a really good question. I think I've thought about it, and I think it's more a case of I wasn't mentally prepared. For the last 3 years, she's been limping along and doing fine. Her demeanor was always there of a happy, I just want to please you every day of my life. Like that, it was gone. I don't know what happened, so there you go. So mentally, I wasn't really prepared to cross over that rainbow ridge with her, but there you go. I think dogs are angels from heaven, meant for people. And what I mean by that statement is they're one of the few domesticated animals that will wait all day for you to just walk in the door to greet you with a big smile and let you know that they love you, you know? Every single day, 365 days a year, unwavering, unconditional love. It's absolutely amazing. In many cases, dogs have saved the person. And what I mean by that is Spider Wayne lost his wife, and he has stated several times that if it wasn't for his dogs, he wouldn't have made it through that dark chapter in his life. So in conclusion, it's been said by somebody, I don't know who ever made this statement, that when you go to heaven, if you go to heaven, depending on the individual, you're going to be judged by the pets that you had in your lifetime when you get there. So hopefully we gave her a good running shot in life and a warm bed and good food and good health and medicine when she needed it. So why haven't I been filming and doing any garage work and things like that? I started to work on my Roadster, installing the rear sets. That's been a royal pain in the neck. The kit is a terrible kit, and I'll do a separate video on that, a time lapse. I'm not going to go into detail on it, but I got so frustrated with this install and my mind not being right regarding Petunia, I just had to walk away. Because if you're not enjoying it, your quality of work is going to suffer and things of that nature. And a lot of people, like Scooter and the Stick, Steve went for a ride to clear his mind. I'm 180 degrees different from that. When my mind isn't straight, the last thing I want to be is on two wheels riding, because my mind may be out in left field kind of reconciling some bad things that are happening in my life, and I may miss that person that's getting ready to make a left-hand turn in front of me, and I'll center punch them. I don't know. So for me, I kind of lay off the bikes until I can kind of feel like I'm 100% mentally to hop on it and devote 100% of my attention to the road. In summary of this video, Mea Culpa, I'm sorry to all of you. I'm sorry if I'm still emotional about it, but so that's my fault. I'll reach out to my Patreons since I haven't put any content out there for almost 2 weeks. These people that are paying to watch my content, if I probably owe you a refund, so I will reach out to each one of you individually and make things right there. With that said, I'm going to shoot on the outro of this video, I will share some pictures of my life with Petunia. So thank you for listening to what I have to say. Back to our normal scheduled nonsense coming up. Thank you for watching.